Live fitter and longer with the Fitzness Show, hosted by fitness expert, author, and TV personality Fitz Kohler. She'll tell you why diets are dumb, supplements are snake oil, and the truth about how you can earn a lean, hard, pain-free, and athletic body. Now for our favorite bossy blonde, Fitz Kohler.
Hi team, I'm Fitz Kohler, your fitness expert and very noisy race announcer from Fitzness.com, and welcome to the Fitzness Show. So as many of you have seen, and I can see the numbers starting to jump, I've got two very noisy men on my show tonight, which I am very excited about. Not only are they ultimate professionals, but I love them. They're super fun. They're two of my favorite friends, and this is a real score for me. So I'm just going to shut up and I'm going to invite noisy man number one. Welcome, John Pelkey.
Welcome. I get yelled at for being noisy in my house. My wife will hit me with talk less or inside voice quite a bit.
I feel like maybe she just doesn't appreciate that special side of you.
I think she doesn't appreciate outdoor drama level volume in an indoor setting, and I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'm a flawed man, and I'm trying to be a little quieter when not doing a race with you.
Fair enough. Well, with me, I hope you are never ever quiet, because that would make me sad.
I'm going to yell all the time.
Thank you. Thank you. So we just got off an incredible weekend announcing the St. Pete Pier run together.
You know what? It's just, and both you and I were talking about St. Petersburg, and you've been in Florida, essentially Florida native. I've been here since I was in my 20s, so 7-8 years. Rim shot. Anyone with a rim shot for the? Okay, I've over 30 years. Yep, St. Petersburg. The demographic over there has changed. It is a vibrant place to do anything, and it is a great place to go on a run.
Yeah, and the thing we were talking about is where other cities around the country are kind of falling apart and becoming decrepit shells of who they formerly were. The St. Pete, Tampa area is just getting nicer and nicer. They're investing in the cleanliness, the architecture, the atmosphere and attitudes there. It's just beautiful. Vibrant
art scene over there as well. Great museums. It really is. It is no longer just a place for people in their 70s and above to go hang out. There's great places for people 70 and above to hang out, but there's a lot of other stuff going on over there. And as we were talking about during the race, it's part of the whole City of Champions Tampa area where you'll run your personal best. Everybody gets a championship.
That's in right. Tampa. Everybody leaves with some sort of ring. Yeah. Isn't it weird? I mean, the fact that Tampa is going for their second hockey title,
well, having interviewed a lot of hockey players, you can get a lot of talent to Tampa because those guys like to play golf. And if you're playing in Montreal or Vancouver, your golfing time, it's a little diminished, frankly.
Right. They're like, oh, I could go in here or I could go to Florida. Basically, everybody, I think everybody wants to come to Florida. Only half of the people are willing to admit
it. Well, I had no choice. I guess I had a little bit of a choice, but my father retired. I grew up, as you know, in the D.C. area and retired and moved to Florida. And that is the law. If you live in the middle Atlantic states, that's you have no choice. You may get a pass to go to Arizona or a couple of other cities around the country, somewhere in there, not states around the country. But at the time, in the mid-'80s, when my dad retired, you had to go to Florida. So I thought, I lived here my whole life. Let's go to Florida. I was ahead of the curve. Only thing ever.
Yeah. So both of my parents came from New York, and I am, as you have mentioned before, one of the only 17 people actually born in this state.
I always assumed that you were not allowed to be born in Florida, and I had always made the comment at races. People may have heard me say this before. I assumed that a woman who was about to give birth was put on a boat and at least taken to international waters, if nothing else. Because I have met 7, 8 Florida natives in my entire life.
It's exciting to be one. It's me and then my kids, and there's a handful of others, but the others are in hiding. So the other thing about St. Pete is we've got 2 incredible races that we do together. We have the St. Pete Run Fest in November, which is, that came out of nowhere. These guys, Ryan and Keith Jordan, just showed up and said, hey, we're gonna put on races, and then they hit it out of the park from the get-go. Oh my gosh. And just to pause, John, I have to stop and acknowledge we have so many friends chiming in And anyone else out there watching, feel free to use the comment section, say hi. We got Susie Lee. So this is great. Susie lives in Tampa. She followed me out to Arizona in March to run a race. Then she showed up at Gasparilla, showed up again this weekend. That was a lot of fun. Lori Weiner.
One of my favorites. I love seeing Lori at Run Disney races. One of the reasons I'm happy as a Run Disney race host that those have come back. I'm going to get to see a lot of my friends that I haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah, it's all about the people, right? And here you go, announcer number 3. Congratulations.
I never move up the list. I'm always announcer number 3. If they bring somebody, if they get rid of somebody and bring somebody in, they're going to come in above or below me. But announcer number 3, that is my niche, people.
That's right. It's important to know who you are. Another one. Yeah, Pam comes to Florida. Look, we are now an attraction in Florida. That's the thing, is we're now an attraction. We are like Disney World and Busch Gardens and the beach, John and Fitz. How about that?
I am less expensive than all of those, except maybe the beach, which is free and why it's amazing.
All right. Announcer number 3, slightly above the beach. So we have mystery guests too, John. So sometimes, as you know, StreamYard chooses not to reveal the identity of some of our commenters. So mystery Facebook user, hello to you.
In my old podcast, StreamYard would decide not to feature me from time to time, and they just drop me out. I think it was the Matrix was just saying, no, we've had enough.
I'm so sorry. So no one ever wins John's old car at races.
Okay, I have to credit Riley Claremont for that one. Run Disney race host is he always it is his greatest desire in life to give away a 1978 Buick LeSabre. For some reason, even though he doesn't have one, and he promotes that all the time, and we have to shout him down and say it's not.
I want someone to sue Run Disney over that and be like, "Hey, he promised."
Oh, please don't give anybody that idea. Good Lord, the national pastime suing someone.
Such a funny lawsuit. So I'm game for that. Okay, so this weekend was we had a 4-miler on the 4th of July, which was very special. But we kicked off the weekend with a great expo, a music festival, and we started with the pie eating contest, which
I was so excited about that because of all the things that I've emceed in my entire life. I've never emceed an eating contest. And as everyone who's ever seen me at a race realizes, I am much more of someone of the physical stature who would MC eating contests. But you took the lead in that. And you actually, as someone who I have to think somewhere in your Fitzness mind, you're like, that's a lot of whipped cream to really be eaten in one face. But it was a blast. It was a blast.
I'm actually quite unsure why I was assigned. Our race director, Ryan Jordan, it was like, Fitz, you're in charge of the pie eating. I was like, okay.
I think there was the fear that I might dive into one of those pies head first, frankly.
Right. The other threat was me being like, only eat half a pie. It's too much pie.
Oh, it was. I'm sorry. I'll send this out to anybody who produces eating contests. I'm your Huckleberry.
Yes. Yeah. And you did great. So we had so many pies, and the pies were really just a formed crust filled with an enormous amount of whipped cream. We just started asking, like, does anyone want to do the pie contest? And we gathered 10 people on the spot, half from the marching band that was playing for us.
Absolutely. The Police Athletic League percussion and
Lakewood High School marching band as well.
Yeah, exactly. They took part. We had some people. We had a couple of people who were very excited about it. And we had a couple of people who, let's just be honest, Fitz, not their first eating contest. Not their first eating contest. And we did require hands behind your back, whole face in the pie. And obviously some people, no stranger to that position.
That's right. And I want to credit you with that because I believe it was you out of the blue that was like, they can't use their hands, right? And this was all like from the hip, made up these rules on the fly. But I think you were the no hands suggester.
Well, first of all, it's much, much funnier. But someone had asked that. I just think, grabbing the pie, the problem that I was going to have with that was grabbing the pie with your hands could directly lead to a food fight. And knowing that I was going to have to be out there all day, sadly soaking wet at some point in the day, which actually made the day silly and fun to the nth degree, that I just did not want to get hit with a big ball of graham cracker crust and Cool Whip.
Well, that was so funny. I didn't even think about that. I just was focused on our athletes. And then I said the pie eaters set go, which was a very awkward thing to say. But halfway through the first wave, we had 2 waves. It was 5 and 5. And actually, the second wave had a 5th participant, but he was about 4, and he tapped out right at the get-go. So
I think he thought he was just getting a pie to go. That's sort of what he was thinking in the whole, because he'd heard that the winner gets a pie, and that was what the winners got, were pies. And he was 4, and he did everything he could to get to that seat at the table. And then once the pie eating started, he's like, well, I'm not an animal. I'm not going to eat this pie with my face.
Not like you monsters. That's right. So the first 5, and I would say the surprise winner. Well, before we get to the winner, this was my favorite comment, is they start eating, and it's maybe going on for 30 seconds. And John comments is that so-and-so's strategy is to eat from the inside out. Started
in the middle. I would have thought you would have started from the edge. Again, I was color commentating this whole thing. I thought you're going to start from the edge, but started from the middle and then eating to the edges. And then the thing that I hadn't thought about as a strategy for the pie eating without hands is you have to then move the pie tin with your teeth. It's a learned skill. Let's just say that.
It's very impressive. And we did get extra points for athletes who had the most whipped cream on the face. I think it was Najee on the side. Definitely was a superstar as far as coverage. But our surprise winner was Betsy. I think Betsy was about a 50-ish-year-old female whose husband was so proud of her. And yeah, she came out with a skin nose.
She did, and it's funny because it was the tortoise and the hare a little bit, because a couple of folks just went whole hog. In fact, at one point, I thought Najee was going to eat through the pie tin into the table because he was going at it and an early leader. But Betsy just kept at it. There was no stopping, because in eating contests, you get to that point where you see somebody, no matter what the contest is, you get that point where somebody's stomach is saying, I'm not really sure I want to continue with this. And you got a little bit, Betsy didn't have any of that. She just stayed with it like a machine.
No, and her husband was all like, Betsy. Well,
because he knew that the pie she was getting was all going to be for him. I mean, she wasn't eating any pie.
35 years married, and that's probably the highlight, is we provided that. And then you're right, as some of the pie athletes, they got that look on their face like, throw up. And then that made me almost gag a little bit that they were eating. But I got to say, perhaps this could be one of our new things, is color commentary on the ground, food eating competitions.
Listen, there's a whole cottage industry there, cottage cheese industry. If you like bad dad jokes, that we could certainly be a part of. There absolutely no doubt. The spectators too, I thought were it was less disturbing to them than like the 75 hot dogs that Joey Chestnut has to eat to win. Much more enjoyable. So I recommend the graham cracker crust. Let's start there. That's going to be much more delicious than your basic, and easier to eat, frankly, than your basic pie crust. And then just the slathered on whipped cream. It just makes it very, very funny and entertaining.
And some of the contestants that actually come up, they're like, well, what kind of pie is it? Oh, right. Blueberry, yes. Apple, no.
I will have to admit, I asked that, and the main reason that I asked that in the beginning was because if it was banana cream,
you were in.
Might have been a 6th competitor. Or I might have had to at least demonstrate how you should eat the pie.
That's fair enough. I bet Ryan Jordan is possibly kicking himself over not knowing that in advance, because that would have been an exciting moment. And then our second wave champion was, I feel like we would have bet money on this guy who was big and burly with a big beard, and his Brian, but he liked to go by Brad Pitt, the other
Brad Pitt.
And then your commentary on the beard was that.
I thought he was going to get the most out of his experience, because there was going to be graham cracker and whipped cream in that beard for probably days. And so he was really going to reap the benefits of that. He had like a Civil War general beard too, people. If you're thinking it's not, it was well down to chest, and great looking beard, great looking burly big dude. And to your point, we kind of had him eyed as the favorite, though I will say that team gave him a run for his money.
Yes, it was highly competitive, but I also think it might be fun to be Brian, aka Brad Pitt's romantic partner, because what a surprise treat, right?
Yeah. Do you go by Jennifer or who's
Angelina?
Angelina. Yeah. There's so many former Brad Paramours that Yeah, I think that might be a fairly comfortable seat to sit in.
Yeah, that could be an erotic thing he offers now to the ladies or the guys, whichever, but he may coat that beard with some sort of sweet treat.
Just as somebody who deals with this small beard of mine right now, the level of stickiness that must have been happening in the 130% humidity that we had that day, walking around with the bits of graham cracker crust in the beard. Hey, it's a holiday weekend.
It was a holiday indeed. Okay, so we finish up the pie eating contest, and then we move directly into the 40-yard dash.
Which was, first of all, a great event. You paid to be a part of it, and every penny of your $10 you paid to be a part of it went to a great cause. If it was if you were an adult, someone above drinking age, because there was a wine glass filled with wine at the end. If you could beat the Jim Jenkins, the lawyer, who the whole conceit was you had to beat his time. And I wish we had a picture of Jim right now to show people.
And Jim Jenkins, actually, I don't even think you had to beat his time. I think you just got the wine glass.
Oh, you did. The conceit was we said you have to beat his time to get it. And then we just gave the wine glass to everybody.
And Jim Jenkins, before I even knew he was the attorney that sponsored our event as he strolled by previously, I shouted out something great about his mullet.
World-class mullet.
Oh, your mullet, dude.
He's like a Danny McBride mullet and then a onesie with pink flamingos on it. And Frank, full disclosure, if pink flamingos are involved, I'm your Huckleberry. I will be there every time. So you recognize him, called him out ahead of time. We thought he looked great. And then he turned out to be kind of he was the mascot, or the driving force, I should say, behind the 40-yard dash. So if you were an adult and you ran the 40-yard dash, your money went to the St. Pete Free Clinic.
That's right.
Which is outstanding. And then if you were not of adult drinking age, it went to American Cancer Society of Pediatric Cancer. And that, among all the things that we do, and I can be as flippant about stuff as anybody. But the amount of money that is raised for charities through any weekend running event is remarkable. And that was just a lot of fun and a lot of brave people, because as mentioned before, the weather did not cooperate with sprinting on concrete. Torrential downpours at times.
We had 100 athletes from the ages of 1 to like 50 something. I mean, how old are you, John?
That's so rude. I am 3 days over my 57th birthday. Happy
birthday, Hanson. You look a day over 56.
I'm not. I'm 3 days over 56. So that's why I don't look that.
We did have all sorts of grown-ups, and sprinting scares me. I always feel like the hamstring's going to go.
Yeah, and there's this whole thing about and I learned this having tried to sprint, and I ran track in high school, and I was not a great athlete, but when you get to a certain age, not 100% of your body travels at the same speed through space. And sadly, what seems to happen is that your upper body accelerates faster than your lower body. And that can facilitate you finding yourself on the ground face first. And that I have a fear of that as well. Yeah.
So you got the fear of this, but as these athletes are going there, Jim was 6'6", and then Cole, who is a pediatric cancer survivor, he had maybe 6'3".
Yep.
And then John goes, this man right here, John, he goes, I can break 6. I think
I could run the sub 640.
I can do it.
Now, what I found was I could not do it in the shorts that I was wearing.
Right.
On wet concrete. My conditions, I would be the football player who needed the combine workout at my college with my track and all of that. I could not do it on that track, but I do think I could break a sub 640.
Perhaps with those special shoes, the carbon plated footwear, that was also what you're missing. So John's like, I can do it. So I just say, okay, John, it's your turn. Everyone's watching, and John maybe you took about 10 steps, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And then he takes a hamstring tear and then leaned over the
The main thing was my shorts because I'm going to give myself a little credit. I've lost a little weight, and those shorts I didn't have a belt on, and they're not quite as tight as they used to be. But the thing that I didn't tell you was that I had a quadricep that was like, don't take one more step.
Okay.
If you take one more step, pal, you're going to be the cliche, like 50-something guy who signs up for the softball league and makes contact with the ball, and then one step out of the box trying to get to first, tears something, and basically never plays a sport again. I could see that was coming.
Well, I actually feared something like that might happen. So I was happy to see that you chose a different.
I may have to train for a 40 though.
Although had your pants fallen down, that also would have been something we could have laughed about on the show. So
well, there was a theming thing going on there because I had an opportunity to work for the NBA for a few months during the season in Tampa. I actually had NBA themed underwear on. So I could have used it maybe for some sort of career enhancing promotional moment. But as you know, Fitz, I do nothing to advance my career.
Like the ambassador.
I know.
Raptors. Is there like a dinosaur on your tush or like?
No, they were just straight up NBA. So it wasn't even team centric. So I appealed to the whole league. I think I really missed a marketing opportunity.
I do think so. I think perhaps we may reset that up in November and cue the drawers dropping, cue the NBA logo with the dinosaur. I do think a raptor on your rear end would sway some sponsorships.
Listen, if there's a gig involved, you know me. Honestly, if it's a beef tongue eating contest or if it's drop your drawers for an NBA promotional video, sure, let's go.
I like that about you. It's good to be a gamer, especially when money's concerned.
Pride is overrated, Fitz.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
in our business, clearly.
So pie eating, 40-yard dash, John does not die. I was the wise one who decided, no, I'm not even going to pretend. And I bailed, but we did leave soaked. You were more soaked than I. You happened to be at the start line at an inconvenient time, but that was super fun. And then the 4-miler, what was your favorite part about the 4-miler, John?
Oh, golly. My favorite part about the 4-miler, as always, it was when I finished up the awards ceremony because they always go on too long no matter what because you're trying to because not everybody shows up and you're trying to make sure people can hear you. And then it was out in the middle of the sun in the middle of the day. So I'm glad that's over. But I think my favorite thing, and I think this goes to the races that we do in St. Pete, is that the vibe is always such a positive vibe there. And those sunrises on the bay in the morning when people are running are just terrific. And again, I haven't had an opportunity to do this since February of 2020. And I saw a lot of shirts from teams, Team in Training, Team Red, White, and Blue, Team Homes for Your Troops. As I said before, so many people running for a cause to raise money. It's so great. And it's such an American thing to do on the 4th of July. And full disclosure, July 2nd, baby, which was the day we actually declared independence. I don't know, July 4th gets all the love. Okay. But I thought it was a particularly great thing to do on the 4th of July. I also thought it was very smart to hold it to a 4-mile run because by a little bit later in the morning, any mile over that 4 miles was going to get a little brutal.
Yeah, it was hotter than blazes. It was a beautiful morning, and I loved how the great majority of people came out in some sort of red, white, and blue stripes. And on occasion, things in our country don't look so beautiful, but when you get people to come and celebrate like that, it gives me faith. It gives me faith that there's more people that love the country than don't.
Well, and here's the thing, too. I think things that happen over social media or on television or on radio, it's so very easy to just dial into your cynicism, no matter where your cynicism may be from. When you're together with a lot of people and you have a positive vibe like that, you do sort of realize, political differences, philosophical differences, religion, team differences. God knows, we've seen people getting screaming matches with the team. It kind of falls to the wayside. And it certainly did. The only downside for that for me was everybody was wearing kind of the same patriotic stuff. So it made it much harder for me to pick out things they were wearing and make fun of it.
Oh, yes. There was not a lot to make fun of.
Yeah, and I mean, make fun of in the way that I'm relatively self-deprecating that, but you love to pick out something that somebody's wearing because not everybody's going to get their name called at the finish, as hard as you try. So it's great to pick out somebody who has something on and make a joke about it.
Let's take a back seat because there were some people. There was Mrs. with the cat on her shirt that said Meowica.
There were a couple of there were more than one Meowica shirt.
Meowicas, and there was a bunch of Muricas. It's nice to be able to shout out Murica on the microphone.
Why did they hate the other vowel? I don't know. There's too many vowels in the name. Murica.
A little more rugged, a little more southern, I think, to throw out the Murica.
I saw someone actually near me here in Florida who had one that said Florica.
It's Florica. Right now, everyone wants to be Florica. Florica is like the place to be. I get that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really, I would say a solid 80% of people were wearing something that was very, very patriotic. And most of the other ones were wearing some of the great merchandise from the St. Pete Pier run, which, by the way, my wife, Jody, said I couldn't get through this without saying, so hopefully Ryan will hear this, is that she thought that the merchandise was the coolest looking merchandise from any running event that I've ever done.
They have really nice swag. That's actually one of the things that they've done consistently well for all their races. I mean, of course, beautiful location, but then the swag is crazy. The medals are beautiful. The shirts the runners get, but then when you go into the little store, there's something they boosted because the first year I don't think they really had anything. I
did just some T-shirts and stuff. Yeah, a couple.
No, I didn't take the time to go shop, and I as if I need more race stuff, like I need a hole in the head. But it was so cute. I was like, I could have one of those things. I gotta go get one, and then I didn't. But yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I really wanted these because usually you get something and you wear it for the event, and then it's nice to have an extra T-shirt, throw an older one away or something. But this is one, and I was wearing them, and my wife Jody's like, "That's really cool. You can wear that as like a fashion statement." So come on, got that going for us now.
Thanks to Mother Nature and all the rain, because our first shirt, a staff shirt, was super soggy. We were gifted second shirts. So
we were, and but
it's nice to have two.
And if anybody who was out there we joked about that, our clothes being soaked. My shirt from day one is still not completely dry. So
you have a dryer time.
Yeah, I do, but I've only worked like 3 times in a year. I can only run it like once every other Thursday. The electric bill will just go through the roof.
Well, speaking of electric bill, my AC, I think, is dead right now. Ooh. I know. I tried to call the other day. We were getting a service. So now you could just come hang your shirt in my house, perhaps, and that may work out well. All right, John. So 2 things. We're going to be moving past this race, but epic weekend. Everyone has to go to stpeterunfest.com.
Yeah.
And register for November. Come see us second weekend of November, and then we'll be at the pier again next year.
And I tell you, that one is, the weather is obviously cooperates a little more. It's generally a little cooler there. And that start line when the sun's coming up first thing in the morning over there down near the Dolly Museum where we start is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. This is great. And I have a feeling, if I know Ryan, and I clearly know him, he's hired me.
Right.
If I know Ryan, he's now added a second race. Probably not going to be the last, to be quite frank.
Right. You know what? When they first came to Florida, because they had moved from the Northeast, they were talking about a marathon. So I think that eventually St. Pete Run Fest will include a marathon.
It'd be great, and it should. I highly recommend that to anybody in the running community. It's it's only a few years old and not as well known as some other races, but I assure you will have a great time at St. Pete Run Fest, whether you come for the 4-miler, 4th of July, or if you come in November for the regular race.
That's right. All right, John. So we are going to go quickly to the lightning round. So I like doing lightning rounds. Are you ready?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hold on. Let me.
Okay. Oh, and also I almost undid my braids and put in a headband so I would have the same hairdo as you.
See that? That was one of the great things. The quarantine is going to be one of the things we look back on, and it's going to be fun to talk about in 10 years and stuff. And that was the one I did, the thing that a lot of guys my age did, which was like, I'm just not going to cut my hair. I am not going to cut my hair until I have to. I've always had to wear my hair short, worked for Disney, Universal, grew up in the 80s when it was preppy. Your hair was always short. So I spent about a little over a year without getting a haircut. Now I have trimmed it since, but I'm staying with this longer look. I think it makes me look thinner.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. That's one of those pointers I give on fitzness.com is grow your hair longer.
And horizontal stripes.
That's right.
Makes you look thinner.
So, Man Soda Bill recommends. Man soda keeps you younger. So
I certainly took part in that, a little bit of that for 4th of July, and it's another part about St. Pete Run Fest. The after parties and the offerings during the expos, great. You've got a lot of great choices for food, drink, fun, great music, a lot of fun. So there was man soda, yes,
and potential pies. Okay, all right. Lightning round.
All right,
he's ready. Favorite movie?
Mr. Smith Goes. Oh no, sorry, Hard Day's Night.
Okay, what's your favorite TV show you're watching right now?
It's a show called Last Tango in Halifax. It's an English show on Netflix.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Marie Osmond.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Very sweet.
She still looks great. Adorable.
She does. She's a spokesperson for like Nutrisystem or something. What is your favorite genre of music?
Classic rock.
Favorite band? Or
The Rolling Stones.
If you, so I have a lot of endurance athletes on this show, John, which I respect. You are not. So if you were going to go for like a 6-mile drive, we'll say, you have to listen to the same song over and over, only one song. What song is that going to be?
I can only listen to one song over and over for 6 months. Well, it's funny that you asked that. It's gonna be a little longer than the lightning round because I found a mix because I have started working out again and trying to get a little bit into better shape. And I found a mix called Angry Workout. And anytime I have to work out, I'm incredibly angry. So there's a Machine Gun Kelly song called Bad Mother. Mm-hmm. And that song will get me going. And also there's a song by Fort Minor called Remember the Name. And none of them, don't let your kids listen. No. They're not good that way. But those two will get me fired up.
Okay. Bad Mother blank. I can remember.
From Machine Gun Kelly. And I think Kid Rock is on it too. It's really, really funny. And but it's got a really great energy about it. And if you are on your elliptical, and look at that. There's one right there. If you are on your elliptical, it's really great for hanging your bathing suit on when it needs to dry. You put that song on, Bad Mother by Machine Gun Kelly, and I assure you're going to work out harder.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna download it later. Are you a sweet or a salty guy?
Salty, 100%.
Okay. What's your favorite part about working with me?
The laughs. Yeah, on and off stage, we laugh. Sometimes the off stage ones we shouldn't tell people about, inappropriately having fun. But when you have to get up at 4:45 in the morning. If you're not laughing with the person that you're working with, you're in the wrong business, frankly.
Hey, John, there's been a couple of people I've worked with that aren't as fun, and I agree, it's not.
Listen, and on, I always said this, and again, I can be a cynical and tongue in cheek with stuff that I say, but the people who get out there, and I am not a distance runner. I can run, I do a couple of miles and stuff, but the people who get out there and put in their time and money and logistically to show up at one of those things, they deserve to have people with a good, positive, fun energy. You've got certainly at some, and I know Fitz, you do a lot more races than I do. And you have those world-class athletes that are looking at you like, just shut up, I want to run. Yeah. And that's not necessary. Those are not the people we're here for. So have some fun, laugh, be able to laugh about yourself and about everything that's going on, and have a positive attitude. And my wife is probably listening going, you don't have a positive attitude when I talk about yard work.
You mostly do.
I do actually.
You mostly do. John, what's your favorite? Now, might be hard, but what's your favorite healthy food?
My favorite healthy food. Well, I like all food. You would be hard pressed to find a food that I don't like. But I think my favorite healthy food would be, I like almost all vegetables. Asparagus is my favorite vegetable, so I'm going with asparagus.
Yeah, I have to ask the follow-up question. Do you smell like you died after?
Oh, absolutely.
You have the asparagus pea?
Absolutely. And I always think of that great scene in the funny movie Election where the girls eat asparagus and then set a timer to see how long it takes their urine to smell like asparagus.
Yep. I didn't have asparagus until about 10 years ago. And then my friend cooked it for me at her house. I was like, oh, this is delicious. And I ate a whole bunch. And then I promise you, I thought I was dying. I thought,
Yeah.
what has gone wrong?
You should be warned about that. And I knew about that because as a kid, I was a very picky eater. And you'll appreciate this because we both have the same alma mater. And for you, that means school you graduated from. And for me, that means the one I went to for a while. Go Gators. I was really poor when I was in Gainesville. Now, my parents had money to help me out, but I kind of wanted to raised to be very independent. And they helped me here and there, but I worked and all of that. And I didn't have any money. And when I got there, I was older and all my friends were older. I was 21 before I actually went to school in Gainesville. And so I had these friends who were graduating every semester. I'd meet people who are my age and they were graduating because they're 21 or 22. And in a college town, people are graduating, they clear out all of their cupboards and everybody knew I didn't have any money. So they'd offer up food. So I learned to eat everything. I learned to love lima beans.
Wow.
Cold from a can.
Wow, that's hungry guy talking right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But asparagus.
Asparagus, my favorite vegetable. Yeah, hands down.
Delicious.
But I do love all vegetables.
Okay. And that's
even Brussels sprouts.
What's your favorite unhealthy food?
Italian sausage.
Favorite sport to play?
Favorite sport to play racquetball.
Oh, nice. And then favorite sport to watch?
College football.
College football. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I do love it so much. And who's your favorite college football team?
That would be the University of Florida.
That's right.
Thank you very much. The one disparaging comment I got to make at the whole thing was the woman who won, one of the lovely women who won one of the awards, top 3 in her division, was wearing a Florida State shirt. So I was able to call her name. And the minute she got to the podium, I asked her to please go, that we were taking the award away from her. And she thought it was funny. And then a whole people who were doing that at me for the rest of the awards.
A lot of that. Whenever I tell people I'm a Gator, no matter where I am in the country, there's an enormous amount of chomping, and then there's always that one chop.
I know, but I'm a fan of college sports fans, so good for you. Keep it coming. We Gators can put up with it. You can hate us and yell at us. We're fine. We'll see you at the national championship game.
Oh, you got a question from Bill. I love this. If John could call a game with any announcer, alive or dead, who would it be?
It would be Keith Jackson. College football is Keith Jackson. Alabama. Oh, down there with the big uglies.
Okay.
Or maybe, or Harry Carey too would be great doing baseball. Because baseball as an announcer, you get to just have conversations with the pace of the sport. So Harry Carey would be fun too.
Good choices. I think I would go with Kirk Herbstreit just because he's so hunky. So.
And he's a good dude. I've interviewed Kirk Herbstreit on a couple of occasions. He's a really good dude. And he's another one of those damned overachievers. He has like a law degree as well. So he can talk to you about anything. Did
you swoon looking into his turquoise eyes? Like
I got to admit, those eyes are. There may have been performance enhancing eye drops there because those eyes were pretty impressive. There's no doubt.
Secondly, to performance enhancing bubble. So thank you, John, for being on my show. I love you so much. So much fun with you this week, and I can't wait till November.
Yes, and hopefully I'll see you at some of the Run Disney races. And anybody who is going to take part in any of those or Run Fest, please stop by and say hello. I don't have a hashtag or any of that because I'm a 57-year-old man and I still have a VCR that's flashing 12, 12, 12. So that's my level of technology. But it will be great to see everybody, and it was a great weekend. Thanks for having me on, and say hi to the other guy who's coming on. I know him too.
I shall do it. All right, John. I love you. Give Jody a kiss from me.
Love you too. Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. That was super fun. Let's see if we can top it. My other noisy man in my life. Here he comes. Look, he's like, oh, the other one. Rudy Novotny. I can't hear you. This is sad. I can't hear you. Poke your thing in further.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Following John Pelkey, really? Never again.
No.
Never again. No. He's too good. He's too funny. I love the performance enhancing eye drops. there was a whole bunch of good stuff.
So, you know what? One of the things I think is that my favorite part of Run Disney races when you guys were working together is just you two. Because you two with the big voices and then the big senses of humor. I could just sit there after I was done running in the VIP tent and listen to you to go on and just such a fun time.
Yeah, I miss working with John. He's so fun and he's hysterical. I mean, the guy is just go go go. He's also, I want to give him credit. I'd love to know that he was still watching. He's probably one of the hardest working announcers I've ever worked with. That guy just gives it all from start to finish, and he's so much fun. Good guy, good stuff.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. And we did go tit for tat this weekend. There was no he's all in. He's all in.
Yeah.
And so super funny. So moving on to you, we just made a big announcement last week. I was brought in this year to announce Gasparilla, which is an iconic event that you and I have both kind of drooled over for a very long time. And super grateful Susan Harmeling thought it would be a good idea to invite me. And fortunately, within about, an hour of being at her start line on day one, she came over and she said, "We need you to come back next year." And I was very grateful for it. But, I said, I have some ideas, and we definitely do have some ideas that we're going to add to Gasparilla. And Susan, one of the greatest things about her is not only the fact that she has managed this Goliath of an event so well. And again, Gasparilla is beloved, but she's very open to new things. And so I reached out, I said, this is my most important idea, is the other half of Team Noisy. If you love what I do, you will go crazy over what we do. And she heard us together on video, and it was instantaneous. Please ask me to reserve our weekend.
I did my major happy dance when you called me and told me that I was on.
That's right. And that was instructed, right? It was, I need to stand up.
That's right. I actually had to stand up and prove that I could do the happy dance. So, yeah, I'm really excited about joining you for Gasparilla. But I can't remember how many years it's been. It's a long time, event with serious.
Very cool.
Yeah, I thought it was at least 40 something, and it's been iconic in running history. There's been some amazing races run there. There's been some huge battles, but the most important thing about Gasparilla is the amount of fun that is had there, and it's going to go over the top next year. So we've got plans.
I'm really excited over pirates. Is that nerdy?
Well, if it is, I'm nerdy too. I mean, I'm not like a big dresser upper, other than all the Disney experience, I had there, which was super fun. But my very first Disneyland event, my very first Disney event at Disneyland, inaugural half marathon, full pirate regalia. It was
gorgeous.
It was just so much fun, and of course a lot of and growl. I completely overdid it that day. That weekend. I completely overdid it. I ended up not being able to speak for like 2 days. It was ridiculous, and it was so much fun. Anyway.
And worth it.
Pirates, yes.
Pirates, yeah. So obviously we will have very fancy pirate outfits. But this is what I noticed about Gasparilla, because I did some homework before, is there were some people doing the pirate theme in the clothes. And then this year with our hybrid event, there certainly were a bunch of people who showed up with skulls and crossbones and, Jolly Rogers and so forth. But next year, we want everyone in pirate stuff, everyone.
Sure. I'm good with the whole theme, but, the more pirates, the merrier. Oh.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's beautiful. February in Tampa. And as you know, Florida's a little schizophrenic with our temperatures, but the weather's not going to be bad.
Well, I guess the race has somewhat of a history of being warm, which I keep looking at, February. Late February. Yeah, your weather is schizophrenic. So anyway.
It could easily also be 18 degrees.
I've been there for both extremes in February. So, but, it'll definitely be what it'll be. And we're going to have just the most incredible time. I want to see pirates and pirate wenches everywhere.
Yes, I will be the winch. I know so many people would think that was offensive, but I don't think anything that leads to it is offensive. And that's what pirates call each other, right?
Yeah, that's pirate verbiage. It's not mine, not yours.
Right.
That's right. So yes, come all the winches, bring on all the pirates.
We may have to run that past people before we
yeah, probably
winch out on the microphone.
Or we're already in trouble. I don't know.
Perhaps this is my show, so we can save it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's what a great weekend. 5K, fantastic classic distance. 15K is a really, really good distance that's rarely ever offered. And then, of course, the half marathon.
9-something, correct?
It's 9.3.
Okay, 9.3 miles.
And so here's what I say about that to anybody who's run half marathons, and particularly if you've run a bunch of them. At about 9.3, you'd love to be looking at the finish line.
Yeah.
Bingo, 15K.
Well, this is what I've always thought with my halves is really get hyper cranky until mile 10. If I could finish
right. Anywhere between 9 and 10, 9.3, 10. That's why a 10 miles is such a good distance too, because you're not getting cranky and, having bad thoughts and all that stuff. Anyway, 15K and a great half marathon. Literally, there's something for everybody. And, I know you and I have talked.
You missed, we have an 8K as well. And then we have so many people doing all 4 races. So the race weekend is scheduled as such. So there's so many challenges. I think there's 3 or 4 different challenges to choose from. But some people do like 5K, 5K half, 5K, 8K, 15K, 13 miles.
So I forgot about the 8K. That's another unique distance, 4.96 miles. Metrically, it's like a 5 miler. So what I say to anybody listening or anybody who hasn't been to Gasparilla, look at your race past, and if you run the 15K and the 8K, those are 2 distances you may not have ever run before. So it's a great opportunity to get not 1, but 2 personal records.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so as we've been talking, I've been sharing a link to rungasparilla.com for everybody. And then if you register, we have 2 discount codes. They're branded Fitzness 1 and Fitzness 2. So Fitzness 1, I believe, is for the 5K, 8K, and the individual races. And then Fitzness 2 is for the larger distances and the challenges. But listen, I don't have it all written out here. So what you do is you go in and you try Fitzness 2 first. If that doesn't work, then go with Fitzness number 1.
Yep, and then of course those are good on the challenges too. Challenges look like they're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so they'll save $10 on the larger race registrations, including challenges, and they can with Fitzness 1, they'll save $5 on the shorter distance or single races.
And then of course you and I have been talking. We're trying to come up with something special for all the friends that come out and join us that weekend.
Right.
It's to be determined, but we're going to come up with something.
Yeah, this weekend in St. Pete, I had gobs of people saying, "We're skipping Princess and running Pirates with you. We're coming to Gasparilla."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to see just a massive crowd, it's a great alternative. I know a lot of people enjoy Princess. It's a fun weekend, but I think what we've got here is something real special, and it's going to be just over the top.
Yes, and Gasparilla is already, I think, 35,000 athletes over the weekend. I think 2022, we're going to blow it out of the water. It's going to be like a big cannon drops in the center of Tampa.
Cannons, yes, more cannons.
More cannons. Yeah, and the other thing I really enjoyed is the opportunity for outdoor adventure there. So when I was in Gasparilla, you can just get out on the water, even if it's cooler temperatures. There were aqua bikes and paddleboarding and canoes, and there's just so much to do out there. It's beautiful. There's hotels galore. It's easy access to the race. So if you're coming from a few miles out or you're home somewhere in Central Florida, it's not a nightmare to get to your start line.
I'd like to try one of those aqua bikes. That looks like fun. Yeah. And that'll keep me off the back of a jet ski when you're trying to kill me.
It's a jet ski. I'm a very good jet ski driver.
Yes, you are. You're a superb jet ski driver.
This is at least what I tell myself. So, yeah, but I'm thrilled you're coming to Gasparilla. Thank you for saying yes.
Oh, are you kidding me? It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Great time of year and a great race to add. And I love seeing, I get to see a lot of my Florida friends and some of the East Coasters. We already have we've had such a wonderful response. We already have a lot of people on planes. So,
oh yeah.
So the airline should be very happy with us.
That's right. That's right. Team Noisy is going to be in Gasparilla, so Delta American gets a hit. So the other cool, they have an enormous expo, which is pretty incredible. I like the races where they do it big and they have all the stuff, all the fun activations. But Meb Keflezighi is now a hometown hero in Tampa. So Meb is committed to Gasparilla, and not only did he come out and stand on the course and at the finish line both days, all day. Really, he's fully committed to our athletes. But they had a giveaway. I don't know if they're going to repeat it, but it was a drawing, and they took, I think, 20 different people got to have dinner with Meb, one on Friday night, one group on Saturday. And what he did is he moved from table to table and he had hors d'oeuvres with one table and a main course and dessert, and he's a sweetie pie. So that's, another little treat.
What a great prize. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I really like him. So Disney Bill, thank you so much, Rudy, for the advice you gave at Big Sur as it applies to any adventure. Take the time to turn around and look at the journey you've traveled.
Oh, and Big Sur, and you know what? Let me tell you that Big Sur look back, that's not mine. That's just something that I wanted to make sure everybody heard. That I heard that when I ran my first Big Sur, when we had there was a panel or something like that. And they said, man, when you get to the top of Hurricane Point, look back at where you've just been. And so happy to share that. That's
did you do that? Did you ever get up there and look back? I know you're always running really hard.
Yeah, and I am running hard for me. And no, but you have to look back, even just a turn, and it's just that spectacular, particularly the Hurricane Point section of Big Sur course. Don't get me started on Big Sur.
Forever we could go on. So that's what I'm thinking about as you talk, I'm thinking about Heartbreak Hill at Boston. I actually haven't done the research to know how atrocious Heartbreak Hill is. It probably doesn't compete with Hurricane Point as far as intensity, but maybe it does. I don't know. No,
I would probably suggest taking a look at it, on a topo. And just being aware of it, it's actually nothing like Hurricane Point. Heartbreak Hill is more of a step up, and Hurricane Point is just.
Do you think perhaps ignorance is bliss, Rudy? Maybe I should just deal with it as it comes.
There is a very, very large contingent out there that believe that I'll take it as it comes. And what I don't know can't hurt me.
So it's interesting now, because people will say, excuse me, when I tell them I'm running Boston, they're like, oh, it may be really hot, or, oh, it may be really cold. And
right.
I do know that. And what am I supposed to do about it now? I'm
right.
I'm in Florida, which is like living on the sun. This is where I'm training. Trust me, Boston in October will not be hot compared to Florida in June and July. But yeah, it's weird that people even when I was on chemo, when you're done with chemo, the tamoxifan's really bad. And I just think why are you the naysayer? Why are you trying to bring me down? I'm doing my best. I will show up and I will get what I get.
I think, of course, that's the case. I think people all mean well, but they tend to repeat their most dramatic piece they've ever heard about a certain situation or opportunity or challenge or whatever. Oh, I heard this or I heard that.
So very weird. Yeah, how about be a little positive? How about you're going to have great weather and it's going to be lots of fun and those hills are going to feel like nothing, right?
They'll probably feel like something, but you'll do fine. Your training is going along so well. This girl is working hard. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And I can't wait to be going crazy as I'm tracking you Oh yeah, that's a late start anyway. That's a late start.
1
Yeah.
o'clock is the first start. That's crazy, isn't it?
What time?
10 a.m. is
Yeah.
the first start at Boston.
Excuse me. Yeah. I know. So if it's hot, it's hot.
So, I mean, Lord knows, and maybe I start at 11, so I might be looking at a 4 p.m.-ish finish if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Probably.
So this is very funny. As I'm watching us, I'm closer to my screen than you are, so I have the pineapple head. I got now. There you go. Thank you. The depth perception.
There you go.
Everybody out there, let me know how much bigger my head was. Pineapple head.
One of the moments, hopefully, we have nobody watching.
Right. No, there's people watching. I see the people. Hi, people. Okay, so Rudy, I like the lightning round.
Oh, gosh. Okay, go ahead.
But you've already done the other lightning round. I have
Go ahead and modify it or do whatever you want. Torture me.
No, it's good. It's so good. Okay. First of all, what's the best thing that you cook?
The best thing that I cook is probably lobster, which I know you don't eat, but I love preparing lobster. I catch them myself and I cook them myself and I clean up after myself.
And
yeah, lobster.
Reviews.
Ooh, that just went. Try again.
I said rave reviews you get.
I get pretty good reviews for my lobster. Yeah.
But what is the rule when you catch the lobster? What do you have to do?
You have to kiss them before you kill them.
And say, what do you say?
I'm sorry.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Okay. If you were to do a completely different career than one you've had, and I know you've had a bunch of different jobs and careers, what would you do?
Completely different. Okay. I was going to say be an attorney, but I've been, kind of in that realm before, so I mean, that's in my heart of hearts. That's probably what I'd want to do is probably be defense counsel or something like that. They wouldn't want me in the prosecutor's office.
Oh, they want me in the prosecutor's office.
Right, exactly. That's why they need me in the defense.
I think you would be an outstanding attorney. In fact, you're my legal guy. I'm Rudy's tech guy, and he's my legal guy.
This is true. We provide those needed services for each other.
And by the way, so yeah, super sweet. Thank you for being our friend too. The reason we love what we do is because of you and all of our other athletes, right?
Oh, and a nice comment. Very sweet. Thank you very much. Yeah. And
then Martha she said that she saw that. She was talking about our head size difference. So it's hard to miss when I'm like, hi.
Don't do that.
Oh, and Susan Regalato says hello. That's Aunt Susan.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, we should be. You didn't see Susan this weekend, though, did you?
No, she was gonna come and she didn't. But Susan did the St. Pete Run Fest in 2019 after her 5th hip replacement, and now she's up. She's rocking it. She's doing so great. And so Susan, Rudy's having hip replacement in a few weeks, and yeah, you're going to do as well as she has. She's awesome.
I hope so. Right hip only, Susan, but I'm looking forward to it and hoping to get back to running in, maybe, I don't know, maybe there'll be 22, maybe, late 21, maybe early 22. We'll see.
Okay, it's going to come soon.
All right.
But we miss Susan, so thank you for saying hi. And Susan's family, I love her. Okay, here, hold on. She said, you're going to do fantastic. And you're right. He is going to do great.
Thank you.
If you were to announce a race in another country, what country would be your dream country to start with?
Wow. Okay. Well, we've got our friend Alan in Croatia, the Dubrovnik half or something like that. That or almost anything in Australia.
Okay.
Or any race in Hawaii.
Not another country.
I'm talking. Oh, another country. I'm sorry. It had to be another country. Okay. All right.
But that's okay. Yes, to Hawaii.
Hawaii. Yeah, I'd say Croatia, Dubrovnik half in Croatia, or anything in Australia or New Zealand, just that area. Absolutely.
Nice choices, Susan. She's been.
Yeah.
She has family. They did a cruise. Mine would be Ireland. So much.
That's that would be fine. That would be wonderful. And you've told me so much, and I have family history there. My DNA is there. I can go look at my DNA.
Where are the Novotnys from?
Well, we have very, very significant roots in Ireland and some in Spain, but mostly Ireland and Czechoslovakia.
That's what I thought.
Czech, yeah.
Yeah.
Czech. I'd like to go to all those places.
Yeah. Sign me up for all of them. I think I've been to about 20-ish different countries, and Ireland was by far the most beautiful as far as natural resources goes, and so green. But then St. Petersburg, Russia, oh my gosh, just
amazing,
popular with the architecture. But then Norway, I mean, yes to all of them, right?
Yes, let's go.
Almost all of them.
We are available. Hold on, let me check my schedule. It's open.
It's great. I found a spot. What is your favorite sport to watch?
Favorite sport to watch. Favorite sport to watch. A good track meet, a really good track meet. Of course, Olympic track and field, which is once every 4 years. But track's my favorite. I like watching football. And actually, I've been known to watch golf lately. Well, it's kind of an odd thing. I played once, and it was okay. It was enjoyable. It's not my game, but I wouldn't go out and play. But I think the people I see playing, the pros, are so incredible, and what they do is, to me, it's just unimaginable. I did take a ball that big and put it in a cup this big.
Way over there.
Way over there. It's incredible. So, that's more than one answer, but track and field, I was just watching an NCAA, even the replays are worth watching. And
some of them are like, 8 seconds and the race is over. Like, wow, that was great.
Exactly. I like the distance events, but anything like that.
Just an FYI, watching John Pelkey almost run the 40-yard dash was probably one of the most exciting things that has happened in my entire life. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to do it. I stopped.
John's a giver. He's a giver and a goer. I wouldn't put anything past him.
You know what? It's almost like having Jim Carrey at a sporting event. I mean, who the heck knows?
Exactly. It's right for that reason, because you never know what's going to come out, and it's always good. It's always spot on.
Sorry.
It's always something I wish I'd said.
Yes. He was like, I'm going to break 6 seconds. I was like, no, you're not. He was so confident. So anyways, it would have been awesome how we finished it. But the way he did that, it was really funny too. Very comedic. Martha, she's global. Of course she is. I think she just asked me the other day something about if she was required to wear a tank top in Iceland. So good for you, Martha. Wherever you go, you need to tell those races that you need your own private announcers.
That's right. Exactly.
All right. Rudy, what always makes you cry?
Any animal movie or anything with an animal that's of course if they're hurt or they die or anything like that, I'm just a mess. I don't even sad animal movies. I think Old Yeller way back. Oh, I think I was lost for weeks. My parents said I was really affected.
Oh, very sweet. You're kind of sappy, so I wasn't sure where you were going to go.
Yeah, I'm sappy. Yeah.
Very sweet. Okay, and then this is our last question. All right. We're going to end on a high note. What always makes you laugh?
always makes me laugh. I'm drawing a blank. You make me laugh, but
That's a good answer.
I know. Yeah, and old, and when I can watch them, old comedic, Abbott and Costello, the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, stuff like that always makes me laugh.
Yeah,
There's a lot more. As soon as we're done with this, I'll have the wish I could have said this or that.
Yeah. We were obnoxious with that at the Buffalo Marathon. Niagara Falls. Slowly, I swim. At least we have the same dorky sense of humor.
Buffalo was wonderful. Being at the Falls was incredible. That was just amazing. I'm glad you pushed that on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm our cruise director, right? I'm a tech guy.
Yes, you are.
Activity director.
Yes, you are. And the Maid of the Mist down below. Next time I want to do that. I hear you get really wet.
Well, I tried to get us to do that last time, Mr. Novotny.
I didn't say you didn't. I said next time I'd like to do that. Thank you.
That's okay. All right, we're not going to bicker on the Fitzness Show.
No.
No. Oh, this is an important question. So in Buffalo, I'm the Grand Poobah. And then what happens at Gasparilla?
Gasparilla. I don't know. You'll figure something out. I mean, I don't know. You'll probably make me walk the plank. I'll be the junior pirate.
Okay. Be like me. We're going to figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Absolutely. We have a little time, but time flies. And that's just going to be a great party. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me as well. And Lori, we love taking care of Peter in Buffalo. What a sweet guy. He's so fun. And I love his accent. I can listen to Peter talk all day.
Yeah, I think he ran the 5K, right? Didn't he do the 5K?
Yeah, and Lori would have come too, but she was committed to, and I think an 8-miler, part of a running series she does, and she's committed to lots of running series. So we missed you.
I was going to say she's running all the time, everywhere.
I think she's on her 9,000th half marathon.
But something like that.
Estimate. All right, Mister, I am going to let you go.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming back on the show. I'm thrilled that you're going to be at Gasparilla with me. It's going to make it extra special. And I know all our friends are going to come out because you're there.
Always fun. And if you're listening and haven't signed up yet, you better do it sooner than later because that is going to sell out. Eh, Fitz?
That's right. Absolutely. That's Run Gasparilla. The discount codes, I've included them in all the comment sections, but it's Fitzness 1 and Fitzness 2. And just try them both. Fitzness 2 will take $10 off. If it doesn't work, use Fitzness 1. And it will take $5 off your registration. And we're going to plan something fun to get together with our friends while we're there.
To be determined. I love your hair. Your hair looks great. Very nice. And no, it's growing out. Look at that.
Girl hair. I know.
Aww.
Braided all the time. I know. It's still a mullet, but whatever.
Talk to you again soon.
All right. Bye, Rudy. Nudie, Rudy. All right, folks. Everyone's got to dance on the way out. That's how we